Today, your decodable reader is called Jake Plants Grapes. Jake plants grapes. And before we get started, we're going to need to take a look at some of the words that you'll find in your book so that we can stretch those out and figure them out here. Now, you're going to see that these words, some of them do have that silent E on the end. So, when we stretch these out, take a look at the silent E and know that the A will say its name. So we've got F says F, A says A, and T says T, and E doesn't say anything at all. He will not make a sound in this word. So it'll be F-8, fate. Let's go to the next one. Again, there's that silent E, so don't worry about him. He won't make a sound. He'll just help A say his name. So B says B, A says A, and K says K. And E, he doesn't say anything at all. So let's try it. B-ache, bake. Now, take a look at the next word. It's got a capital J because it's a name. We also see that silent E, making sure that we understand that makes A say A. It's a long A. J says J. Long A says A. K says K. Put it together. J-A-K. Jake. So in our story, we'll have that name, Jake. And remember, E didn't say anything at all in that word. Now, let's move down to the next row. There it is again, silent E, helping this A become a long A. Say its name, A. Ready? T says T, long A says A, and K says K. Put it together for me. T-ache, take. This next one, there is no silent E, so our A will say a short sound, ah, all right? We have a blend at the beginning. We have the P and the L. So let's figure that out first. Let's get this out of the way. So we've got P and L. P, l, p, l, pull, pull. We also have a blend at the end of the word. So N says and T says t, nt, nt. Pull and nt. Let's see. Pull and. Pull ant. Plant. That's the word plant. Now take a look at this one. It's a little bit tricky and maybe hard to recognize that it does have a silent E. It's not at the very end of the word because there's an S at the end of the word. And we talked about how adding an S to a noun will make it mean more than one. And that's what that S does. There's an S there, and there's your silent E. So A will be a long A. We have another blend, a GR blend. Gr, 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 ape, grape, grapes, grapes. Before we read our story, we need to know our new high frequency words. This is S-A-I-D, said, said. And also we are going to be looking at the word that. There's our digraph, at, that. So your high frequency words, said and that. Now let's take a look at Jake plants grapes. All right, high frequency word you, high frequency word can. And here's one of the words that we sounded out. Plant. You can plant, here's one of the other words, grapes. You can plant grapes, said Mom. You can plant grapes, said Mom. Now, I want to call your attention to these little marks right here. They are called quotation marks. And you see quotation marks here and quotation marks here. And inside these two quotation marks are all the things that Mom said. So if someone says these exact words that the author wants us to know, they put them in quotation marks. You can plant grapes, said Mom. Jake, take that and dig. Dig. Jake, take that and dig. Now, this is also in quotation marks. Who do you think is talking? It's still mom talking, right? She's giving him directions on what he needs to do. Jake, take that and dig. Plant that grape, bud. Jake, plant that grape, bud. Jake. Okay, so he has that grape bud right there and he's going to plant it. Who's still talking? Mom is still talking. There are the quotation marks. Quotation marks. Plant that grape, bud. Jake. Jake did not see grapes. Jake did not see grapes. Now, you know the life cycle of the plant, so you can tell right here that maybe it's not time for the fruit to appear. His plant's not ready yet. It's not in that stage of the life cycle. Jake did not see grapes. But if you look here, guess what happened? The grape plant continued to grow, and now, Jake, can you see big red grapes? Said Mom. Let's read that again because here are quotation marks again. So this is Mom talking and she's asking a question because there's a question mark there. Jake, can you see big red grapes? Said Mom. Mom and Jake ate big red grapes. And here's a word that we didn't talk about when we were stretching out words, but let's talk about it right now because it has the silent E on the end. So A is going to be a long sound. Ate. And that's you only hear two sounds. Ate. Mom and Jake ate big red grapes with an exclamation point on the end. Someone's probably very excited because they grew their very own grapes. Mom and Jake ate big red grapes. Now, this story and another story called Nate and Kate are on the McGraw-Hill app on your to-do list. So you can go and read this story several times. Practice, practice, practice. You can also listen to it and then also read Nate and Kate because it will help you with the exact same sounds that we've been working on this week. And it will also help you with said and that.